All right, what we've got here is some shelter shells, and this is a habitat for small fish and other small things in the water. And when we look around at this environment, a lot of the underwater habitat and just the whole riverine habitat that we have here is very kind of bulky, so we've got the hard edge walls and so forth, obviously with some great floating ecosystems here. But when we want to increase habitat underneath the water, it's important to provide shelter for the little guys, and the little guys need that complexity and that texture to hide from larger fish so they can grow up and to become larger fish themselves, and also the texture that things can grow on, invertebrates and so forth, to feed these younger fish. So that's what we have with the shelter shell, and this is cast from a eco-sculptural concrete that has some iron blended in with it, which gives it that pink terracotta color. And these can be mounted in like this, like beads on a chain, and hung underneath a pontoon or a dock. And in this situation, we're going to put them like this in this submerged channel so that the fish can swim in here and feed and take shelter. Take shelter sometimes as herons and stuff that feed here. So that will be a shelter for the fish. And it's got all these nice grooves and really good texture to help aquatic life grow on the surface. So often these are hanging from a chain like this, and they go together, and the chain comes through, and they're hanging off of a dock or a seawall or a pontoon structure. But in this case, we're just going to put these halves in. So I'm just going to lower that right in there. And I can see this little fish in here, just waiting for a nice habitat. You can see this nice connection details here. And look at the nice texture on the surface of that. Really good. Just going to lower that in. All right. First shelter shells in the Chicago River. So originally the shape for this was inspired really by actually a hermit crab. So we were on the beach, and there was all these hermit crabs, and we were just thinking about how shells provide such a unique kind of habitat for other life. And then we were thinking about the types of habitat that we like to create, particularly habitat for the little guy. We all got to stand up for the little guy in life. And so that really is what led us to this shelter shell. And we developed it in clay, and then we printed this whole thing in 3D, and then it's taken us about 2 years to figure out how to actually cast it. It's very difficult to cast, but now we've got a couple hundred of these in different places around the world. And they're growing. Some are in Egypt, and some are in London, and all sorts of stuff is growing on them, soft corals and sponges and so forth. So these are the first ones going into the Wild Mile here in Chicago.